what's coming up in this week's episode?
The second half of an interview with Wayne Forrester.
Jamie.
Oh, I was going to say that too, but now it's Gerry Anderson news.
And we'll be having a special look at a special thing in the Randomiser. It's about to be special, but it'll be random.
The Gerry Anderson Podcast with Jamie Anderson, Richard James and Chris Dale.
It's Pod 337
Pod 337.
of the Gerry Anderson Podcast.
Are we sure it's that one?
It's 337.
Feels like
337.
we've done more than 337 somehow, but...
It's only us again, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
it's just us.
Nothing
Yeah,
else
yeah.
changes.
yeah, it's the same otherwise.
Unless we could
Same
pick
old, same old.
if you wanted to pick maybe a replacement co-host.
Yeah.
For the who would you choose?
Well, I mean, maybe I'd go for an old podcast, not a guest,
Yeah.
but someone who's been in this chair.
Oh, yeah.
I'd go for Sweep.
Sweet.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd be a great
But
host, quiet co-host.
No, he'd be quite noisy.
Oh no, Sweep is the one, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's true. Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
He'd
Jamie,
cause
who would you
some
choose?
I would go for a character who could match my own wit and intellect
Yes.
and classy vocal output.
Yes.
So I'm going for Oink.
Oh, of course. Perfect. I think I'd choose Brian Blessed.
Brian Blessed.
Sorry.
I don't think he'd be a co-host, though, would he? That wouldn't work. He would have to be the host.
Yes.
Really.
I don't know how much of a podcast you would actually be able to produce
No.
with Brian.
But actually, Brian, Oink, and Sweep,
Yeah.
I think that would work quite well.
good trio.
Because it'd be
Yeah.
like Brian with an audience of
You'd like
animal
that.
contributors.
Yeah, well, you know,
How
could happen.
lovely.
Could
keep
happen.
shaking and ducking under the table.
In the meantime, lots of our viewers like to comment beneath our YouTube channel. That's what I'm calling it. Would you want to read out some comments there, Jamie? Maybe just these two here would be good, I think.
Just those two?
I think so.
Okay, fine. Well, these are under our Pod 331, where we watched Dick Spanner. God, that was relentless. Pen Quiller says, I was first introduced to Dick Spanner in the VHS version by a friend.
Oh.
Oh, a good friend, obviously.
Yeah.
Definitely one of a kind, yep. And best watch with a group of friends so that you can shout out the puns, visual and audio, as you get them.
Drunk.
Yes. Well, that's sort of what
Probably.
we did, except we weren't drinking. But I agree that you need to take it in small doses, like moonshine whiskey.
Oh,
Analogy.
yes.
I felt like I'd had, triple moonshine after that.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed by how Shane Rimmer managed to read those lines without cracking up. That's because he's a pro.
Or maybe he didn't get the jokes.
No, he's very
would've.
smart. He was a
Yeah.
very
You think he
smart
would?
man. He would have got every single one.
Yeah.
He probably added half of them.
Yeah.
Probably did,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think he liked a good pun, didn't he? I've got one from Grouch here.
Oh, Grouch.
Doesn't bode well, does it?
Sure.
I can make two suggestions, says Grouch.
Right.
The first is a late one for the Space 1999 50th anniversary.
Oh.
Not
well,
late, that's next year.
Yeah.
So you're very
Timely.
early. But thank you. We know the running time from Breakaway ran for 2 hours or more before Gerry went into the cutting room. So does this footage still exist? Okay.
Right.
And could a new extended cut be created? Chris will answer that momentarily. Secondly, a suggestion for a guest. How about David Sisson? Model maker,
David would be
owner
good.
of many original
Yeah.
props,
Yeah.
including an eagle and slow-mo.
Slow-mo, yes.
Great suggestion. But Chris, Breakaway extended?
Well, we don't know if the footage survives. What we do know is that there was about 10 or 15 years ago, someone came forward with some on-set recordings, audio, about 40 minutes worth, of deleted and alternate takes of existing scenes, which had a lot of backstory and context and such.
Wow.
So there was at the Heathrow 1999 convention, they played
Yes.
a couple of versions of the first episode with some of that material added back in. The problem is that the sound quality on that is fairly sort of people shouting at each other through megaphones kind of quality, so
ropey.
it doesn't quite fit with what's going on around it. But there's certainly scope for alternative versions. Whether the full 2.5 hour, the alleged legendary 2 hour that version, I don't know.
But does it
It'd be
even
nice to
exist?
think it exists.
Do we need it? 2.5 hours?
Yes, we
Breakaway?
do. We need all
Really?
of it.
Is that a perfect thing as it is?
Oh, it's perfect as it is.
Yeah, but-
always nice to have alternatives.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go.
Fine. Good. Great. Nice. Now, before we get to the Gerry Anderson news, don't forget we have Wayne Forrester coming up, the voice of Captain Scarlet. I say the voice of new Captain Scarlet. Actually, that's just a small part of his long and illustrious career, spanning 3 decades now, at least.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, more than 3
And yet he
decades.
still looks about 12.
I know. It's very annoying.
How he
like
does
that.
that, yeah. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, let's have some Gerry Anderson news.
Yes.
Okay, then. It's the Gerry Anderson
News.
News.
Bit late, Chris. Come on, keep on.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Trying to be part of
Anyway, now,
Yes. Yes.
I'm here with some accurate information.
Oh, right, makes a change.
Yes, all right, Nick.
Having been on the naughty step a couple of weeks ago.
Got told off, apologised. Got
Yeah.
told off for apologising. I can't do right for doing wrong.
Can't win.
Or whatever the phrase is. But yes, Space Precinct,
Yes.
the Blu-ray,
Oh, yes.
special collector's edition,
Right.
is available for pre-order from the 22nd of November. And it is amazing. Beautiful collector's packaging, all the episodes in HD, special, previously unreleased footage from a proposed second series.
Yes, amazing.
Yes,
So
a
exciting.
3-minute mini adventure.
Oh, there you go. Now, there's
He's stolen the
exclusive
thunder.
right for you there.
3-minute mini adventure.
Also, a brand new mini Space Precinct story
Oh, yes.
by Chris Thompson.
Yes.
And what's in that?
Well, featuring a performance from me, my first in Space Precinct for 30 years.
Amazing. There you go.
A
That's
return.
right.
Also featuring Gary Martin as Slow.
Yeah. But features me.
Yeah, it's most
in a
importantly,
Space Precinct story.
It's something else you can talk about for the next 30 years. A 90-minute documentary.
We have revised this.
Yeah.
Downwards.
It's gone up. It's gone up.
How long is it now?
expands. It's now somewhere between 2 hours and 2 hours and 10 minutes.
A two-hour documentary on
Yes.
Space Precinct.
It just keeps growing.
That's
Well,
longer than both parts of The Fire Within.
It is, yeah.
That's-
nearly
that-
enough time to watch another episode on top of it.
it's going to be the definitive documentary, full
Yeah.
of anecdotes.
Yeah.
Many from you about your arse being on fire.
Yeah, almost certainly.
That's included in there, isn't it?
Of
I've seen the clip. He had to do that. Anyway, it's fantastic. It's got paper parts, extra bits and pieces. It's a lovely, lovely thing, and hopefully it'll set the tone for our future physical media releases, whatever they might be.
Great. Yeah, I mean, this is the one, isn't it? I mean, okay, my 50th anniversary, that's a long way
What
to
are we
go.
going to do for that?
So, you know.
An AI upscale to 4K? I don't
So
think
this
we're
is-
going to.
this is it.
This is the best it's going to ever look.
Ultimate, yes.
The definitive collector's edition. So now's the time, or well, the 22nd of November onwards will be the time.
Nice.
And just quickly,
Oh, yeah.
Black Friday.
Oh, yes.
No longer Captain Black Friday.
Okay.
Because, well,
He's been retired.
He's been busy for the last few years
He
doing
goes
that.
around killing people,
And
he's got
there's-
other things to do.
Exactly. He's a very busy Mr. On Asian. He's got no time for this commercial capitalist nonsense. But no, it just felt a little bit like maybe people didn't know who Captain Black was, so it felt a bit weird.
Or they might assume it's Captain Scarlet.
It only applies to
Yes.
Captain Scarlet.
Yeah.
So no, it was beyond that. So, but there's a store-wide discount, 25% across the store, excluding some new things like the Space Precinct Blu-ray. We're not going to discount that because it's brand new. All that because that's brand new too. The comic anthology. But yeah, everything else pretty much is discounted by 25%. So a great time to get yourself a Christmas present or a loved one or
Hated one.
Or you're a hated one. Exactly.
Show them.
The usual. Yeah, buy Captain Black something from the Gerry Anderson store. That'll upset him. So yeah, there you go.
Great. Nice.
It's all very exciting.
This is very exciting.
And that is the end of this week's Gerry Anderson news.
That was the newsy news. That was the news.
No,
that was the newsy news.
I find it really difficult. I find it really difficult hearing a tune with a different lyric.
Particularly when Chris does it.
Yeah, but it's like when you see words written down, like the word orange, but it's coloured in blue, and you have
I've
to
got something
say
to
what the.
shout about.
Yes, I can't concentrate.
Shall we
Just
get Wayne Forrester,
please, Wayne, come and rescue us.
Save
Please.
us. Wayne Forrester's back. Would you believe it? As I live and breathe.
As if by magic.
Now, last week we talked about your early inspirations, watching most particularly that Century 21 TV logo that used to fill you with delight and
Absolutely,
thrill you
yes.
every weekend. And then something of your experience working for the Thunderbirds stage show, meeting Gerry, moving on to Space Precinct,
Yes,
and your
yes.
abiding memories of that. Anything else that you can remember from your time at
I'm
Pinewood?
trying to think. I remember one of my favourite characters from Space Precinct was when I got to play Romek's grandfather. That's Lou Hirsch.
Yes, that's right.
Lou.
That's right.
Lou.
Go on, say it.
Lou. I think
Yeah.
it's safe to say didn't enjoy himself
No.
on Space Precinct.
No, he didn't.
Because he didn't like the glue.
No, that's right.
I don't like the glue.
Yeah.
I gotta.
That's right. That's right. And he let everyone know at any opportunity.
Absolutely, but you know that was his character. That was the character.
Yes.
It was a kind of grumpy sort of
Yeah.
New York.
That's
you
right.
know, Creon, right?
That's it.
But I had the chance to play his grandfather
Yeah.
in one of the episodes, so I kind of channeled my Lou impression.
Yeah. That's right.
Which is great. It was great fun.
Really
so much so
sweet.
that actually afterwards, he said to me, I tell you what, kid. He said, why don't you play Romek?
Right. Yeah.
And I'll revoice it.
Yeah, that's right. That was his plan. I remember.
Yeah. Did he ask you as well?
No, he absolutely mentioned that it was a plan of his to get you to play Romek.
Is that right?
Yeah, because he told me specifically that he went to see Gerry with that plan and said, look, he said to Gerry, you said that you would recast it if I didn't like it. And Gerry said, I don't remember that conversation.
That's extraordinary.
That was Lou's
How
problem
funny.
until the very last
How
day.
funny.
Yeah.
So,
Would you have done that, by the way, out of interest? Would you have taken over from Lou?
I don't know.
Yeah. You seem to be having a pretty good time as it was.
I was having
playing
a
the
good
different
time.
roles. I mean, that must have been quite attractive.
I couldn't understand why he wasn't enjoying himself.
Well, yeah, there we are.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't know.
he is one person I would love to get around this interview table and just say, Lou, let rip. Say what you want to say.
Take the gloves
It's all
off.
fine.
Yeah.
Exactly. But no, I don't think he ever would.
Unplugged.
Yeah. Then, of course, I mean, we have to talk about new Captain Scarlet. We
Right,
touched on it
yes.
briefly last week with you very bravely knocking on Gerry's door, only to be asked to audition for the title role.
Yeah, absolutely. God, no one was more surprised than me, you know.
What was the audition like then? Do you remember the actual...
I do.
Back at Pinewood?
Back at Pinewood. I'd been given the script for Scarlet,
Yeah.
but I thought I would write some other lines
Okay.
just in case he didn't want me for Scarlet.
Okay.
So like a sort of Russian pilots,
Yeah.
and air traffic controllers.
Okay, so you had the feeling it was this or nothing. Is that what you
Yeah,
were thinking?
pretty much. I thought if I can't walk, I mean, if I could get Captain Scarlet, that
Yeah.
would be incredible. But if I can't, I want to be able to be in the series regardless.
Yeah.
So I, did all these extra bits that I'd written,
Yeah.
and I'd read for Captain Scarlet as well. And it was a huge soundstage.
Yeah.
It wasn't a little, sound studio like we're used to now. It was a big soundstage with a sort of like a box to stand on with a microphone, and Gerry and his associate producers were at the back of the stage behind glass listening in.
Right. Wow.
And I remembered just doing my best for this. And at the end of the interview, at the end of the audition, I stopped, turned around, and they came out from their little booth, and Gerry said, "Well," he said, "you sound a lot taller than you look."
Okay. Is that a good
And he
thing?
said, "Well done." I went, "Oh, thank you very much." Yeah.
And was that an offer on the day?
I don't know. I don't think it was.
Yeah. But you...
I don't think it was. There's another story behind that. So I did find out that I'd been offered it. But I knew that there was a chap who was supposed to be casting this, who I knew quite well, who overlooked me for the audition. That's why I knocked on Gerry's door, because I'd known him from Space Precinct.
Yeah.
And the chap who I can't say his name,
Yeah.
who was supposed to be casting these voices, had to phone me up and tell me that I'd got the job.
Oh, revenge is sweet, isn't it?
So
Right.
it was a
great.
strange one.
Yeah.
But I was absolutely over the moon. I was thrilled.
Of course.
Completely thrilled, What an iconic character.
Yes.
And a kind of massive kind of flashback to childhood. And
Yeah.
having done Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, the stage show, then Captain Scarlet. Oh my God. I almost felt guilty in a way that I'd got it.
Why?
I don't know. I just...
Not little old me, surely.
Well, I don't know. It was... I can't say I felt guilty, but I was astonished.
Yeah.
And, hugely pleased, and it was like a massive shot in the arm for me.
Yeah, too right.
And then, of course, rehearsal. We didn't do rehearsals, but the rest of the cast was assembled.
Yeah.
And they were just fabulous. Jules de Jong, Robbie Stevens, Mike Haley, and Emma Tate, Julia Brahms. Really, I knew Julia from other work that I'd done.
Yeah.
And they were such a lovely, lovely cast.
Yeah.
And we got the chance to record every episode all together.
Oh, I see. Right. Great.
Because, as you know, like so often now,
Yeah.
things are recorded. You go into a booth and just record your lines.
Yeah.
But it was recorded like a radio show. And our director was there. You know, a great director. They'd show us all the artwork beforehand and say, this is what this tank looks like, or
Yeah.
this aircraft looks like.
Yeah.
And this is. I was like, wow, this is fantastic.
All of which would have been, I mean, although there was some redesigns, would have been very familiar to you.
Pretty familiar,
Yeah,
yeah,
from the original
absolutely.
series.
But you know, just kind of given the proper 21st century
right,
look,
that's
you know,
right, yeah.
made a bit stealthy,
Yeah.
a bit sexier,
Yeah, yeah.
and you know, just great.
Yeah.
You know, all those gadgets. Oh, it was great. But for me, the challenge was, I'd been used to playing all the other characters in things. But that was the job of the rest of the cast. The rest of the
Yeah.
cast got to, like Robbie, who was Captain Blue, who
Yeah.
was fantastic, were also playing guest roles. I was
Yeah.
going, can I do a guest role?
No,
And they're going,
you can't
no,
really.
you can't.
Yeah.
You just have to be happy being Captain Scarlet. Going, okay.
Oh, yeah.
If you're happy with that, that's fine. You know, that's fine.
That's right. Well, let's have a little look. This, in fact, is a trailer from the 10th anniversary of New Captain Scarlet, so it's already 10 years old. But here's a trailer
Gosh.
for the 10th anniversary of New Captain Scarlet. Let's have a look at this. I mean, it still looks amazing, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Hey, I've got a fix.
But there's nothing out there. Ah, that's the early hairstyle. of
Right.
Captain Scarlet.
Okay, yeah. Now, at what point would you have seen
We're under attack.
the finished
Oh,
article? When it was
when it
broadcast?
was broadcast.
Right, right.
Absolutely, yeah. So this would have just been stage directions
Yeah.
on the script.
Yeah.
So you're trying to imagine it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is the voice of the Mr.
It's very cool, isn't it?
And were you involved in the motion capture as well, or was that an entirely separate cast?
That was a totally different cast.
Okay.
I did the motion capture for the pilot.
Yeah, right.
But there was these specialist
Yeah.
movement experts who were, who were acrobats as well. I
Yeah.
think. Martial artists.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at this.
I know.
So this is Skybase. It was called Cloud Base.
That's it. That's
Enormously advanced. They exercise a control over matter itself. They can kill anyone and rebuild
Mike's voice is just brilliant, isn't it?
war against us.
It's so filming, isn't it?
It really is.
Look at that.
I mean, I think many people would say, well, if not an improvement, it's certainly...
It's amazing.
It's another beast entirely from the
Yeah.
original series.
And look at those Angel Interceptors.
Best of enemies.
That is very cool. One man. Fate has made.
Yeah, guess what's coming up?
Indestructible.
Captain Scarlet, Spectrum.
I'd never have guessed.
There you go.
That's very cool.
Yeah, nicely
You
done.
see, this is the beauty of being in animation. I wouldn't be cast in that if it was
Yeah.
if it was a live action.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Tom Cruise would get it. Right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
So that's the great thing. You can be so many different things on.
So there were, I think, 26 episodes of New Captain Scarlet.
Right.
But how much work was that for you? Was it a day in the booth with the rest of the cast per episode every couple of weeks, or was it one big block of work? Or how
That's a
did
good
that
question.
work?
I
Do you
think it was
remember?
every few weeks.
Yeah.
We'd go in and we would do at least an episode
Right.
a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe two episodes.
Yeah, yeah.
I think. And as I said, all together as an ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
So we can kind of feed off each other.
Yeah.
And I only missed one recording, and that
Right.
was the day that my daughter was born.
Aha.
Yes.
Lovely. Very
Yeah.
nice.
So I was like, oh, I'm missing a recording here, and I hadn't slept for like 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah. Probably wise. Yeah, yeah.
But I phoned
great.
up I phoned up the team and
Yeah.
said, how's the recording going? I'm sorry I can't be there. And they all went, congratulations.
Sweet. How lovely.
I remember their voices on
Yeah.
the phone going, "What?"
I'm sure. Now, when I mentioned on our Facebook group that we had you as a guest on the podcast, I mean, we almost broke the internet.
Oh, really?
So many questions left by our viewers and listeners. So if you'd like to reach into the Space 1999 lunchbox here, take a good old handful, Wayne.
Oh, take a handful.
Lots of questions, yeah. And let's see how many of these we can get through.
Okay.
All right?
Right.
Go for
Right, okay. Oh, right, okay. The first one is from Callum Parkin. Hello, Callum. Hi, Wayne. Do you have a favourite voice that you'd like to perform? And is there any voice or accent you've never been able to get the hang of?
Oh, that's tricky, yeah. What
favourite voice?
Yeah.
Well, accent-wise, I always find Newcastle really difficult.
Yeah, that's tricky.
That's quite a tricky
There is a
one
good
to do.
phrase. Do you want to hear the phrase
Yeah, go
that
for
I was
it,
always
yeah.
told?
Yes.
Jean-Paul Gaultier has broken the photocopier.
Jean-Paul Gaultier has broken the photocopier.
There you go.
You see?
That's all I could do in Geordie,
Fixed.
but it's
fixed. Let me see. Do you have a favourite voice that you like to perform? Oh gosh. Well, I like doing like silly voices.
yeah.
Let me see. I did a show called The Fimbles, and there was a character called Rocket the Frog on that.
Classic.
Do you remember that?
Of course, I remember.
Rocket the Frog.
Tippity toppity.
Yeah, that was quite good fun. Once I found that little part of my voice where I could do that,
Yeah.
it's a key to lots of
Yeah.
strange
How
and
interesting.
wonderful characters.
Right.
Let me see, favourite voice. So yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah.
I have to say Captain Scarlet, of course, don't
Yeah.
I? I mean,
It's
it's got to be.
Be rude not to.
Yeah. I also really enjoy doing X20.
Ah, yes, okay. Which we
Oh, it's
might have
such
seen, viewers and listeners at Birmingham Symphony Hall
Yeah,
this year.
yeah,
For,
that's right. That was fun.
Deadly
wasn't it?
Concerto, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Because I was pretty new to Stingray.
Right.
I didn't really know Stingray. It sort of passed me by
Yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah.
So I had to,
Watch a couple.
watch a couple,
Yeah.
which is great fun. I was like
Absolutely.
going, this is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's very funny.
And what was the key to X20 then? What made...
Oh, it's Peter Lorre,
There you
isn't
go.
it? Yeah. Peter Lorre.
And once you know that,
Yeah.
off you
Once
go.
you know that, I know. Yeah. So that's a good one. Thank you
Lovely.
very much, Callum. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Next one?
SIG. Right. Oh, go.
Yeah, come on.
It's like Christmas, isn't it?
It really is,
It's
yes.
like-
What has
What do
3
you
feet?
call-
No, it's not Christmas, not yet.
Paul Hyde. Hello, Paul. Hi. Let me see. Hi, Wayne. Thank you for doing the voice of new Captain Scarlet. Did you ever feel that you were feeling a bit nervous following Francis Matthews? Love your voice for King Harmonious. Ooh,
Oh,
thank you
yes.
very much.
Deadly Concerto,
So
yeah.
funny, I had tears rolling down my face. I'm glad they were rolling down your face. Thank you very much. Well, nervous, yeah, of course. Nervous following Francis Matthews. Because it's such an iconic role, right?
Yeah.
But there's no way I was going to I had to find my own. I had to find my own voice.
That wasn't the job, really, was it, to follow in his footsteps?
No.
I mean, it wasn't a reboot. Well, it was a reboot, I suppose, wasn't it? It was starting from scratch. In a
It was a
sense.
reboot, yeah, with a just a new feel to it, wasn't
that's
it?
right. Yeah.
So, Gerry's note to me was that he didn't want it either American or British sounding. He wanted it somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between, somewhere kind of mid-Atlantic, somewhere. And I think it kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah.
As it went along.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was
Things do. Yeah.
As things do, yeah. And some lines are more Captain Scarlet than others.
Right.
And you sort of find your voice in those lines, those phrases.
Yes.
Remote acquisition technology.
Right.
RAT, Finally. Yes, so no, I didn't try to. Well, I mean, I couldn't help but follow on, and play the part. But no, I didn't.
If they'd wanted a Francis Matthews type, they either would have got him back,
Exactly.
or found someone who could do him.
Oh, do a Francis Matthews.
That's right.
And actually, I did manage. When we did the Spectrum files, the audio files.
That's right.
I was asked to do Francis Matthews. That's right. SIG. Yes.
Great.
So,
Great.
So in a way, I've been able to do both.
Yeah, perfect. Another question?
Let's have another one.
Yeah.
Let's have another one. Okay.
Yep.
You should have a cracker, shouldn't you?
Yes.
Crackers.
Well, come back for our Christmas podcast. And, we'll have
did you
exactly
do
that. Yeah.
Ben Page. Hello, Ben.
Ah.
Ben. From stage to screen to audio and beyond, what is your favourite medium for acting and why?
Oh,
Good question. Well,
because
each one.
you've sort of done it all, haven't you, really, in terms of different media?
I guess so.
Yeah.
But actors have to be flexible, don't they? Because
Yeah.
we need to keep working, right?
Yeah.
I think each one of those has their own advantage. I mean, stage is, you get immediate feedback, don't you?
Yeah.
You know if it works,
Yeah.
and you get that little rush.
Yeah.
You know, if they laugh, or you can just feel it, and there's
Yeah.
that special energy.
Absolutely.
Screen is interesting because it's so repetitious, isn't it?
And a lot of waiting.
Yeah.
A lot of hanging around.
And I think in my heart, I'm a kind of stage performer because when I do screen acting, we do one take and I kind of breathe a sigh of relief and think that's it. And I think, we'll just reset and we'll do it all again. So you have to do it all again. So you have to. So that's, in a way, it's really, I find that more tiring.
Yeah.
And actually a bit more stressful. Some people can be very relaxed and love the fact that if you fluff your lines, you can just redo it.
Yeah.
But actually, you have to think more technically.
Yeah. And you're often under pressure because, as a jobbing actor, you're sometimes asked for a line or two, a morning's work on something.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that line or two suddenly assumes an enormous importance, doesn't it,
That's
in your
right.
mind?
And you don't want to be the one that holds up this, this show that's been going for
That's
years
right.
with
Yeah.
all the established cast.
Yeah.
Audio is great.
Yeah.
I love doing audio work
Yeah.
because it's the best of all worlds.
In what way?
Well, because you can get to play a huge variety of parts.
Yeah.
You have that, if you're lucky, you can have that company feel. You know?
That's right.
And if you mess up, you can redo it.
Yep, exactly.
And, it's, I'm so lucky to have been able to do that, whether it's radio or animation.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ben. Really good question. It's a difficult one,
Yeah.
because they're all
There you go.
terrific.
There you go. That's right.
The great thing about audio is you don't have to dress up, or if you've got a pimple or something.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's right. Turn up anyway. Yeah. Next question. Yeah.
Okay,
Come on, let's have one more.
Okay, Gary Hodgkinson.
Oh yes.
Hey, Gary. Do you know?
Oh
Gary?
yes. Well, we know all these people.
Oh, you know
yes.
all these people
for sure. Yes.
All right, guys. Okay, hi Wayne. Have enjoyed your performances in Anderson shows, especially New Captain Scarlet and the concert. And at the concert, your X20 was fab.
There you
Which
go.
is your favourite Anderson show?
Aha! Well, we sort of touched on this but with your Thunderbirds memories last time. But
Yes.
is
Yeah.
that top of the heap? Do you think?
Yes, I think Thunderbirds.
Ever had any time for the live action stuff? Space 1999,
Well, yeah,
UFO.
it was on, but kind of in the background for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I was aware of it, but I wasn't really aware that it was Anderson stuff.
Yeah,
At that time.
yeah.
So no, not so much. Again, there were some things on telly when I was little. I went, oh, well, that's a great craft. That's
Yes,
good.
uh-huh.
And there was the eagle. I remember the eagle.
Of course.
The eagle.
There it is. Yeah.
Craft. It was great.
Absolutely.
Those are great.
Yeah.
But I didn't it didn't grab me in quite the same way.
Yeah. Funny. Yeah. Odd, isn't it?
So Thunderbirds.
Yeah. Well, what's so interesting about that, though, Wayne, is we were talking earlier about how visual, the excitement of Thunderbirds for you as a child was with the visuals, the colours, the bold colours, the design, and yet it works just as well
Absolutely.
as an audio series.
Absolutely, because you have those images in your mind, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You just see it. They say, don't they, that the pictures are better on radio.
Yeah.
And
they're certainly cheaper.
they're certainly a lot cheaper, and you
right.
can do whatever you want.
That's right. Yeah.
And isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
God, it's great.
So has that been fun doing
That's
the audio
been great.
adventures?
What a terrific cast.
Yeah.
All of them. Absolutely brilliant.
Great. Yeah, amazing. All available, I should say, via Big Finish or the Anderson store, of course.
you go.
Still available.
Still-
Any more in the pipeline that you know of or are prepared to tell us, or you don't know?
Not that I know of,
Yeah,
no.
okay.
But I'm always the last to know.
Yes. Is that the mushrooms being left in the dark and fed
Yes,
on?
that's right.
Anyway,
Well,
all right.
probably.
All for now. Wayne, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you around the table. We bump into each other all the time. And I have to say, you're a very busy man, and we have been trying, haven't we, over the last few months to find
We have.
space
I'm so glad to make
get you in. Yeah, it's been lovely. So thanks for coming in.
Thank
Wayne
you,
Forrester.
Richard.
Thank you.
Bless you. Thanks, everyone. FAB.
Amazing. Thank you so much to the lovely Wayne
Lovely
Forrester.
Wayne.
Such a nice man.
Yes, friend of the podcast, friend
Yes.
to many podsterons.
Yeah.
Always happy to chat about his various adventures in the Anderson world and beyond.
Yeah.
So many things he's involved with.
Yeah, and of course, if you've been to the Standby for Action 2 concert in Birmingham, or if you've got the DVD or Blu-ray on pre-order, then you will enjoy him all over again in Deadly Uprising, the Deadly Concerto,
Yes.
Stingray
As
live thing.
Phones, X20 and
Brilliant.
King Harmonious.
So sweet. Lovely. Great, so thank you very much, Wayne. Next week, we have David Mather from Corgi.
Yeah, and he's partly responsible for all all the Anderson stuff that they're doing and will continue to be doing.
Well, on that note, I happen to know he's bringing something with him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Do you know what?
Is it a summons?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't know what. It's something that obviously is on their release schedule pretty soon that he's able to bring along and show us. Basically, so I went onto the Podsterons Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Podsterons. I posted that David was coming, and as usual, I asked for any questions for David. Most of them were requests for favourite Anderson vehicles and toys.
What was the most requested?
Thunderbird 5,
really?
very popular.
Very difficult one to make, though.
Also, a couple of Space Precinct police cruisers.
I wouldn't mind one of
Requested,
those.
yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see if you can harangue him into
Well,
that.
exactly. I'm very good at haranguing. Talking of haranguing,
Yeah.
I'll tell you who is very good at haranguing, our wonderful viewers and listeners that we like to call Podsterons.
Yes.
They harangue us via email and even sometimes via physical letters. So shall we see what they've got to say for themselves?
Let's be harangued.
Harangue away.
Yes.
Harangue away.
This is the voice of the Podsterons.
So this first one
Yep.
comes from
straight in.
Peter Durnham.
Oh, he's told us who it's from this time. I've noticed that the last few
Yes.
weeks he keeps us in suspenders till the end.
I keep in suspenders. Yeah, well, I've got a lot to go around. It begins.
Yes.
Gentlemen, just the one.
Right,
So
okay.
work out among yourselves which of that is.
Yes.
I'm watching Thunderbirds on Talking Pictures week by week
yes.
because it's playing every Sunday lunchtime on Talking Pictures at the moment. That's how I roll, he says.
Right.
Excellent way to roll.
I'm
Yeah.
ashamed to say I hadn't appreciated what a fabulous episode it is.
Oh,
Which one?
Well, let's find out.
let's try and work it out.
Some of the camera work, for example, when Thunderbird 1 is chasing Ned Cook's van.
Oh, right,
And
narrows it
obviously the crash sequence of Thunderbird
Yeah,
2
Attack of
is
the
truly
Alligators.
incredible.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
shows off
Yeah,
the
that's the one.
scale
That's
of
right.
the
Terry
He
New
hasn't
York,
got it,
yeah.
has he? The voice number. Almost 60 years on, it just goes to show that there are still gems to discover in shows that I've watched so many times. It's absolutely true.
Yeah. Very true.
It's amazing how even when you think you really know a series, you can still spot new things. I believe that demonstrates the quality of the production. Hence, 60 years on, it still delivers.
Yes.
True.
Anyway,
Oh, yes. ...
Keep on keeping on. Best regards,
Yes.
Peter Durnham.
Yeah.
P.S.
Why is he doing that?
What an excellent interviews with Glenn Marks. And ... I can't be the first one to ask, could you replay the David Graham interview from Pod 7, please?
Oh, nice.
Yes.
You are the first to ask, actually, Peter. But that's a nice idea. In fact, I meant to talk to you about this because we've got our Christmas episodes coming up. It's just around the corner. Can you believe it?
Wow.
I can.
Here's a little brief spoiler, but Terry Adlam might be joining us.
Oh, is it Terry Christmas all over again?
And I thought, as we often do over Christmas and New Year, it might be an opportunity to look back on some of our favourite video interviews
Yes,
over the past
lovely.
year or so,
Lovely.
and maybe
It's
even delve
lovely
into a
assortment
couple
of
of
people we've had this year.
delve into a couple of audio interviews as well. So I think we'll certainly have something from David Graham. Of course,
Yes.
we must. From
Oh, did you know that
from
David
Susan.
Graham one? I'm not sure if you remember when I recorded it with him. We were talking, and it was giving me this fascinating stuff about his childhood and his father, and how his father sort of was quite dismissive of David's creative side. And then I looked over at the laptop, and the recording software had crashed and had stopped recording, and we lost this entire chunk, never to be recovered.
Damn it.
And it was just so heartbreaking. So that little bit of conversation, which is now lost forever, it's so sad when those things happen.
Yeah,
But
awful.
the rest of it is there, and it was a great interview. And he was so lovely and accommodating. What a nice man.
It would be like maybe recording 2/3 of a podcast and then realising that some idiot hadn't recorded the sound.
And that sort of magic lost forever
Yeah,
to time. But that would
start over.
never happen on a professionally run
Of course,
podcast
it would
like
never
this one.
happen. Anyway, we're a bit behind schedule now. So
Anyway,
if you wanna,
let's
just
move on. So I've got one here addressing all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Jamie, Richard and Chris.
Hello.
Hey. I've just finished, at the time of writing, reading Chris Dale's novel of Stingray, the Titanican stratagem.
Ah, yes.
And I'm writing to make a formal complaint about its quality.
What?
No.
I can throw this at you.
No. He is asking for a refund. No, he's not.
oh.
No, he says he thoroughly enjoyed it from start to
yay.
finish. It has action, thrills, and introduced a new favourite character of mine, Sarah Coral.
Nice.
Isn't that amazing that a favourite
Yeah.
character can appear in novel form?
Yeah.
That's great.
Because there's no design for her out there. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, there
She's
is in the
in
book,
here,
but
yeah.
in the book, there's nothing there that suggests what she looks like, which is great. Great stuff. I look forward to reading more of Deadly Uprising in the coming months, because obviously there's
Lovely. Yeah,
Comic
more to come.
Anthology, Project
Yeah.
Orca, Comic Anthology 2, the Technical Operations Manual.
It's all imminently arriving.
It is imminent. But Jonathan says, keep up the amazing work for all the stuff that you're doing. PWR from Jonathan Westall.
Ah,
Lovely. Thank you very
that's
much. I'm
nice.
glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, we'll do that. Now, look,
a good review would be.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, reviews,
please. Yes.
Only good ones.
Yes.
You don't want any bad ones? Well, I better remove mine then.
I wanted who that was.
Look,
Oh,
actual
more
physical
post.
letter.
Wow.
Yeah, this is
Postman's
great.
been busy.
You can hear the rustle of the paper.
Yes, I know. This is from Steve.
The multi-E'd Steve.
I mean, I'm sure that will explain itself. I don't
Got the letter B at the top.
The grade of the podcast.
Hi. Yeah, would be lucky. Hi, guys. Well, you did say you wanted letters through the post, so here is the letter B. Okay.
it's hilarious.
Brought to you by Mr. Bumbledrop, Torchy the Battery Boy, and Brains. All the B's.
Captain Brown.
You're very welcome. He says, I now have the train tickets booked for the concert. Okay. So
It's a bit
obviously
late for that.
Going back a bit.
Gosh.
Unless you've already booked next year's. And
No,
he's got
I think this is just a sign that Royal Mail's really going downhill.
I also recently met up with 5 other lovely Potters, Becca, Doug, Tony, Ambassador Paul, and Lauren from the Potters Arms for a meal and a boat trip and a wander around Southampton.
And a cruise part 2.
Wow.
I mean, well,
They're
round
getting
tickets.
around. Yeah.
How are they having an Ander cruise without us? I had the idea.
Yeah, no, they've taken it and run with it.
Also, a shout out to Stephen Hyde, who had his letter read out on Talking Pictures TV, praising them for their
yes.
Anderson output.
Yes.
Good idea.
They do a weekly show called The Footage Detectives that you can send your thoughts
Right.
and letters into. Yeah.
Yeah, so please do praise them for their
Yes.
excellent work, because we're very grateful and we love them there.
You're quite right. And that's from Steve, who says, P.S. Specs on his go.
Wow.
Not
for me.
No, specs off, I'm afraid, because
He's
I
forgotten his.
forgot my glasses. But yes, we love to get your physical letters to the Moxie Hotel in Slough, SL1 1GZ. There you go.
He's reading it out like Saturday morning telly in the
Yeah.
90s.
That's right. Yeah.
Please be aware we can't send any of your paintings back to you.
Aha. We have had the occasional bit of art. And It'd be lovely to get some more
Yeah, more
drawings.
art, very welcome.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Maybe for Christmas.
Oh, that'd be great. For Terry, especially for Terry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe draw your
just Christmas
own
cards.
inclusion of Terry in your favourite Anderson scene.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, replace Terry as Scott, maybe at Mobile
Okay.
Control,
Yeah.
or Troy, or Oink.
With a pun. It's got to have a joke.
With a pun, yeah.
So it becomes a little-
Let's do your worst,
yeah,
Crossroads.
yeah.
By
Great.
which I mean your best.
Yes, and they've got to get to us by the 10th of December, which is when we're recording our Christmas issues.
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Yeah. So, all for now, but I think it's about time we headed back over to Wayne Forrester for him to press the big red button to see what we're going to watch on the Randomiser! How exciting!
Come on, Wayne.
Okay, this is it. The moment you've all been waiting for. Are you ready? Good luck, everybody. And SIG.
Thank you very much, Wayne. Interesting. Crossroads to Now that isn't normally in the rotor of Randomiser.
That's a film.
Right.
That's not a television series.
Right.
That's a feature film.
How on earth did
Just
it
barely.
get in the Randomiser? How did that happen?
All the movies are in there. Yeah.
Are they?
Yes, it's a little known fact.
I'm
They
so
were added a
excited.
few years ago.
All right, Jamie.
It's Crossroads to Crime, Richard.
I know, I've never seen Crossroads to Crime.
Wow.
Tell us everything you know about Crossroads to Crime in 3.7 seconds.
Crossroads to Crime made in 1960 between 4 Feather Falls and Supercar, and it's not very good. And we're going to watch it right now. And it's made in.
Can I do my
3.75
second
Sure.
intro to it?
No! Come on!
Be positive.
What have I got to look forward to?
David Graham.
Perfect.
Yes,
I think
that's
his
good.
only live-action Anderson role.
Okay.
Yes.
It was shot in and around Slough.
Exciting.
Yes. A
Great.
fairly decent Barry Gray score.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
jazzy 60s.
Yes.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Brilliant.
Lots of people standing around.
A lovely
long
cafe.
pauses.
Interiors of AP Films.
People smoking very slowly.
Right. Okay.
I mean, we're really...
What's not to like?
Scraping that
One or
barrel.
two Doctor Who guest actors who never appeared in
No,
anything
this is,
Anderson
you're
again.
really...
Come on,
no, just
bring it
let's
on.
Let's
on
just
with
get it over with.
Jamie, specs
Oh,
off.
specs on, off, whatever.
Look at
Doesn't
that.
matter for this,
the
does it?
face of enthusiasm and naivety.
What a cliffhanger!
I know.
Crossroads to Crime!
Oh, it never lets up, does it? It never stops.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I mean, would that have been improved had I been wearing my specs?
Oh.
No, probably not.
Probably not, no.
I have to say, I don't mind it. I don't mind it so far.
Really?
Yeah, I don't mind it. There's lots of intrigue going on.
Is there?
There's some interesting characters.
Are there?
I can appreciate it's a bit slow in parts.
Oh, yeah.
But I like the music.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we like
Don't mind
music.
it. I don't mind it.
It's a fairly strong cast.
It really is, yeah.
I haven't got great material to work with, but
Yeah. Well, perhaps the proof of the pudding will be in the second part, which we have to watch next week, of course.
we have
have
to.
to.
Yes, we
By
have to.
law.
You must.
Is there no special card we can play to get out of it?
No, there isn't, no. And we hope you'll join us too, Podsterons, for part 2 of Crossroads to Crime. Who thought I'd ever say that? Here on the
know.
Gerry Anderson podcast.
Momentous day.
It's all the randomiser's fault. See you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get started. Let's go.
Spectrum is green.
So what would you steal a lorry load of?
Oh,
Cheese.
Yeah, and you want a lorry load of giant hamsters? Oh, I want a lorry load of flies. Brilliant, great.
no, I'd do a lorry load of Officer Orion on-card toys.
Really?
Yeah, because
Gosh,
I reckon a
imagine
lorry
how
load...
valuable they'd be.
Yeah.
Valuable they'd be.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But don't park at a transport cafe, otherwise you'll lose
yes.
half of them. And then have the remaining half stolen by someone later for some apparent
Imagine.
reason.
I could make a film out of that.
Yeah.
That was an Anderson Entertainment production.